Prep2Live family. I am Brianna Edler-Strand, and I'm here with our beautiful host, Denise Peoples, okay? Our Prep2Live guru. I am behind the scenes. I am the video person, editing person.
She makes the magic really happen.
I try. It's really hard. But we are here today with a very, very, very special, episode. We're here with a very special message for you because Miss Denise started something, and we are here along for the ride. So we have today the PREPPER'S JOURNal, okay? Woo! So we're here to talk about it. Led you to Prep2Live, and why is it important to you?
Well, Brianna, really what started the whole thing was 14 years ago now. I had a double lung transplant, but prior to that, I would say 2000. I've always been, as my mom called me as a baby, pleasingly plump.
Most of us are.
Pleasingly plump.
Right.
And I grew up pleasingly plumper. And and it was never a thing of sitting down and gorging my food or anything. It was just, I was a big girl. I was up to 303 pounds. But life never stopped. Like, I kept going. I would work out, everything. But my eating was not correct. Times I ate, not eating, skipping meals. And my body was just like, we holding on to every single morsel because we don't know when you're going to give us some more food. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, eating the wrong things. When I did eat, just grabbing something. Honey, it wasn't nothing better in the world than a fried pork chop. Ooh. It could have been every day of every week. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yes.
Please put some, a whole lot of meat in my string beans. So I was never a candy person, ever. It was about the food.
Real food.
Now that was my weakness. Okay. So, just living life or whatever. And then when I got sick, I was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which is a disease of the lungs. And your lungs can no longer expand and contract when you take a breath. So then your breathing has to change. Then you wear oxygen. And then eventually, if everything lines up, you are a candidate to receive an organ. In my case, it was a double lung transplant. And I just knew after that ordeal, I knew something had to change. Mm-hmm. Something absolutely had to change. And even though, I was like 110 pounds when I had the transplant, that's because my metabolism was working.
Wow.
Because I couldn't breathe. So everything was working overtime and I was losing the weight. And it was because I was so sick. Because if people don't understand, you can't eat and breathe at the same time. So I was happy with breathing. I was like, it's a struggle to breathe, but we're not going, no, I'm good. I don't need nothing to eat. Wow. So that was how my thinking was. And then I had the transplant. Thank God everything went great. And the weight started coming back. The weight started, and it came back. That's when I was at my heaviest.
Okay, and this was after
the transplant, yes. And I was just living and careful of what I ate, but it just seemed like, okay, girl, this is hereditary. And yes, some things are hereditary. I'm totally with that. my body structure is hereditary. Like my mama, my sister, I'm shaped like my family. And our weight goes to our legs and our hips. That's what it is. I'm just saying. But the thing of it is it was just too much. It was too much. And when I started getting a bad report from my lung doctors, because they would see, when they would take a CAT scan, they would see particles in my new lungs. And they were like, what in the world? And come to find out, I had acid reflux. And did not realize, because they were like, how do you feel when you eat? I was like, that the food is good? Like, what do you mean? They were like, you don't, nothing comes back up. You don't, feeling, no burning, no nothing. I'm like, no. And they were like, oh. So this chick got acid reflux. She can't feel it, but we can see it. And on top of all that, it's going into her new lungs. So they tried for 3 years to get me to have gastric bypass. And I was like, nope, don't want no more surgery. I'll do it myself. I'm going to do this myself.
I got it.
I got this. I'm about that life.
Yes.
No. And one of the things was, and this is why I always stress, you got to take care of yourself. I am that person that wants to give and wants to take care. And I'll handle that.
You are. Yes, she is.
Ain't
Y'all
nobody
haven't noticed.
Ain't nobody asked nothing. You're supposed to be giving me the questions, not agreeing with what I'm saying. So anyway, really just taking care of other people, jumping in to volunteer to do something because I like to do it or because somebody needed help. And I mean just constant. And wasn't taking what they were telling me as serious. Because I didn't feel the acid reflux, so I feel fine. Just a big girl. No. So after 3 years, finally, who is now one of my very best friends, my sister, Nalani kind of pulled me to the side, and she didn't talk to me as a medical professional. She talked to me like my mama had her. She was like, come here, and was like, listen. And there was only one person that they would allow to do the surgery, so I felt confident in that. And I had the gastric bypass. And I had that in 2016. And here we are 5 years later, and I'm still keeping the weight off because I changed my mind. I said, okay, this is a jump start. I've seen too many people have a surgery, whether it be gastric bypass, the sleeve, the band. And baby, they bust the band, they slit the sleeve, and they just straight up bust out the gastric bypass. So I've seen it happen, whether it be for medical reasons or what. I've seen it kind of reverse on people,
right?
Whether it was their doing or otherwise. But however, we talking about their doing. And I was like, I don't want that. That's not what I want. So I changed my mindset on eating, and I prayed, and I was like, God, help me with this because I don't want to ever go back. Like, give me the strength, tell me what to do, I'll do it, And it took some time, but I got it. I finally got it. I tried over, I failed many times, I still fail, but I got it. One of the things is my stomach isn't as big as it used to be, so I can't put as much, but it's a muscle. So if I keep doing it, it will expand and be like, okay. Well, I ain't got to do nothing. Now she wants me to expand. So I have to keep in mind that, like, you're full. Like, that's it. You're full. So just stop. You can have the rest tomorrow.
So because your journey is, one that we all can understand, why is it important to you to bring Prep2Live to us?
Because it's so relatable. Because I've met people like me, and I know there's a million more people like me that fight with, that struggle with food, with weight issues, whether it be small or large. I have a girlfriend who is very small, and she fights with that thing. She wants to gain weight. And you know what it's about? Whether you are overweight, underweight, at the right weight, you gotta love the skin you're in.
Yes.
And through Prep2Live, I try to make people feel comfortable and make it important to them. Hopefully I'm empowering them to say, hey, I can do this. That's why I have such a good time in my kitchen, because, you know, I'm not intimidated when I come in my kitchen. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable when I come in the kitchen. And that's because I know nothing can jump in a pan. Nothing can jump in a pot.
Right.
I've got control over that. I decide what's in my refrigerator. I decide what's in my freezer, in my cabinets, when I eat. That's all on me. Now I got to take ownership of that. And I thought it was important and imperative that people understand when they say, oh, when I get upset, I just can't help it, I eat. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You may not feel that you have control over, oh, well, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. But you got control over what you eat.
Right. That's major.
Yeah, and them little dots that's on your tongue, those little taste buds, you can change them. Because when you came out your mother's womb, it was a clean slate. They didn't know what to like. And just so happens, mommy don't like ketchup. Baby never has it. When baby gets older and somebody put ketchup on something, it's like, what is that? I don't like that. That's because you never had it.
Right.
So you can change your eating. You can change your taste buds. And especially when you start thinking, this is good for me. And that's why I really started Prep2Live, and just get people in the frame of mind that by prepping your food, that's power. Because you say what you're going to eat and when you're going to eat it.
I have to admit that it wasn't until I started working with you on Prep2Live that I realized that it's so important. Everything that you just mentioned is so very important. I have a small child, you know, my daughter, she just turned 6, and she loves food. She loves to eat good food. Like she's a steak and shrimp kind of girl. And I realized while working with you that whatever I do, she's gonna do. She's gonna emulate. I get her in the kitchen with me. We cook together, and everything that I'm learning on this journey with you is gonna be imperative to not only me but her development as well. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of parents forget that part of it. That our kids need to be able to be healthy. So when you speak about the generational health and the generational wealth, it's like it's so real. It is. It really, really is, because growing up, that's why I'm in this kitchen, because I saw my mother be in the kitchen and she humming and singing and cooking, and she seemed to get so much joy out of it. Didn't have a clue that this is where I would end up, in a kitchen, but I'm glad I did. And that to me is legacy. That to me is generational wealth and health. I had to put the generational health on it because, of course, my mother was straight from the South, South Carolina, dad from North Carolina, so there was some cooking going on in the good people's house, okay? So I just had to say, okay, that was good for them. It was good to me. But now I just got to switch it up. I got to change it and make it good for me. So what are some of the tools and resources available to help us on our Prep2Live journey? Different things you can use for measurements, and people feel like, oh, I don't have that, that gadget or that utensil. Yes, you do. I mean, things like, a measuring cup. God gave you a measuring cup. It's called your hand. And you can learn all about that in the Prepper's Journal. Yes, we have different tips in here about how to measure use your hand as a measuring cup, things to what foods you can refrigerate, ones you shouldn't refrigerate, all that kind of stuff. So this is a guide, like, to really walk you through and answer some of your questions. So I think this is one of the best resources. Excuse me. I know that this is one of the best resources. So the Prepper's Journal has a lot of information regarding like measurements, things like that as a guide. What else can we find inside of the Prepper's Journal? Well, the other good thing, amongst many things that's great about the Prepper's Journal, there's encouragement in here. Every page has like a little saying on it. You are enough. All the right ingredients. So there's little things in here to just help you on your way and let you know that I'm thinking of you every time you're in your Prepper's Journal. There's encouragement. There's real talk in here. I'm saying stuff like, listen, you can worship a rock, a star, I don't care. You need an accountability partner. And that's just my voice on paper. Right. That's so beautiful. And I know, you know, when you started, or when we started, you know, filming Prep to Live, there's one episode, and if you guys missed it, make sure that you go and watch it, where you mention how it's important to write down everything that you have. Like, take everything out of your cabinets. Make sure that you write a list before you go to the store. Make sure that you eat before you go to the store. Can we find something similar to that in the Prepper's Journal?
Absolutely. Yes, you can. All of that is in here. I mean, it is a step-by-step guide. You got the Prepper's preparation plan. Why? What is prepping? Why prep? It tells you who should prep. When you should prep. So it tells you like step by step how to prep, like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's everything is in here. How to get moving, not just about the food part, but about a little bit of exercise. You know, get up, drink. You know, drink your water, and all that kind of things are in this guide. This journal.
So important. So important. How did you come up with the Prepper's Journal?
All I can say is $54 and a one-way ticket.
That's all. Just two things.
That's it. $54 and a one-way ticket. So what had happened was I went to go see a very, very, very dear sister girlfriend of mine. Just to spend time with her. It had been a while. She had gone through some things. And, you know, the loss of her child. And, you know, her family and I just... You know, and her sister girlfriends, we would go out and visit her. So when I went, we started talking about Prep to Live. And she said, oh my God, I saw the episodes so far. I love them. She said, but that first episode where you said, grab a piece of paper and a pen. And she, you know, she's a little bouge. She was like, my skin crawled. I was like, you itching? Why you itching? She was like, no. A piece of paper and a pen. I was like, oh no.
Wow.
So I'm at her house visiting, and she was like, oh no, you do know what my company, shout out to Michelle Hare and Arlene Lester. Go on Amazon. They've got a line. They got a line of journals for everything you can think about. Pregnancy, raising the children, all kind of things, inspirational, like focused, fearless and focused, and they have everything. Sororities, they got you too. So it is crazy. They have a beautiful line of journals for all different times in your life. They even have journals for men. That's big.
Okay, are y'all listening?
That's big.
Okay, men.
Because the brothers be like, I ain't writing my feelings. Check out the journal. The inspiration in those journals are amazing. So you got to check them out. It's created in faith. It's a difference. Creative, I can't talk, in faith expressions. You got to check them out. So anywho, they worked me. They worked me like a runaway slave. But you know what? They were working too. They were as passionate. They were as steadfast. They were focused to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on numerous nights. Now these women just ain't sitting at the house. They got jobs.
Wow.
They have jobs, like full-time jobs.
Right.
And they believed in Prep to Live so much that they created this in record time. Maybe a month.
Amazing. I have to say, shout out to Miss Arlene and Miss Michelle. We thank you. We thank you.
Creative in faith.
Because this is something that we all need. It's important to know that you want to go on a journey, but to also have what you need and in one place. Like that is so rare to be able to get all of the information that you have packed in here.
Created in Faith did this. They did an amazing job of putting it all. When I tell you they were asking me questions like, okay, so why are people prepping? What are they supposed to use for prepping? You know, they pulled it out of me. So that was great. Yeah.
What do you hope to achieve through Prep to Live and the Prepper's Journal?
I hope to achieve health and happiness for everybody who touches this journal.
Mm-hmm.
Long life, power. Those are the things I want to touch people, how I want to touch people with this journal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want people to know that no matter what life has thrown you, you can do better. You can be better going out than you came in. And this journal will help you on the way. It's a start. From what Created in Faith told me, there's going to be more of these. And I'm about it. I'm here for it. Yes, I am. But yeah, I want people to, when they touch this, and I pray over the books, the journals, that they would feel a sense of power when they hold it. Because my mom didn't raise no punks. And she always gave us power. Like when the kids would call me fat, I would get home and tell my mom. And she was like, no, you're not. You're beautiful and you're pleasingly plump.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do the next day when I went to school and somebody say you fat? After I would say your mama.
Naturally.
That's the only response that goes there.
Yes.
I would say your mama. And I am not fat. I am pleasingly plump.
Mm-hmm.
I had confidence in that. And I want you to have confidence in this Prep2Live journal.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to have confidence when they hold this and read this and write in it. Did I say there were places to write? It's a journal.
Hello.
So you must write. That's your daily week plan. Come on, girls and boys.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to leave. Listen, and when you get that plan, you need a shopping list.
Okay.
So this is an interactive book. So I want you to feel part of it, and I want you to be confident when you have it.
So we are so grateful to have it. We are so grateful to you for, feeling like you need to share this because it's needed.
Yes.
And, our community, we are so focused on some of the wrong things that
Yeah.
we forget about. We need to be healthy.
Yes.
That's the first step.
And you know what a lot of it is? Because we, and I can speak for women, we feel like, well, we got to raise our kids. We got to raise little baby's kids.
Right.
And all this time is taken away from you. And you never take time for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start taking time for you, some of those ailments or diseases or whatever, not only do they become clearer, I never realized that when I eat this, I feel that. But because I've taken time and be like, those greens, they give me a feeling. You know what I mean? So little things like that. And because we're taking care of other folks and other things and everything is rush. And, we definitely respect and grieve with those who have lost someone during this pandemic. But it's made us slow down and start focusing on what's really, really important.
Yes.
And our health has got to be at the top of that list.
I'm thanking you once again. But before we go, I have a question.
Okay.
So I had gone on Amazon and I just typed in Denise Peoples.
And what happened?
And something happened and then something came to my house. And I was like,
I'm done.
I'm
so done.
I gotta go. I gotta get them because they're needed. I'm gonna share. So I have my 5 beautiful Preppers journals that I would love.
Yes. She got 5, y'all.
I went and I got 5 because everybody needs to take care of themselves. They need to start step by step and they need to be able to do it in the right way. So
that's a gift.
I'm ready. So I wanted to know if it was possible if I could get one signed. At least one.
Oh, my first book signing! And I just happen to have a purple pen.
Oh,
Sure.
thank you.
Oh, there's some things I want to say to her in here because she gets on my nerve too.
Just, every now and then. 11 o'clock at night.
I had an idea. I think if you cook on the moon and keep it, simmer your pots instead of boiling them, the moon will be fine.
Yes.
Good night, Brianna.
We do those things. So guys, make sure that you go onto Amazon, type in Denise Peoples. It's going to automatically populate and get your copies, share them. You know, do what you can to make sure that you are basically living the best life that you can, that you're prepping, and that you're taking the time to just take care of you.
So yes, I am so happy that the book is out. And you can get it on Amazon, like you said. The release date just happened to be on my mommy's birthday, March 8th.
Wow.
Which I know she is smiling from heaven like, that's my baby.
You did it. You did it, and you're doing it.
Listen, Created in Faith Expressions and Brianna and Jason. It's all of us together, and I could not be happier. It just blows in my mind that $54 and a one-way ticket brought about a journal.
And the book is going to be coming soon, y'all, because that's a chapter.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Now, if you want to get yours signed, we might have to think about doing something virtual, you
That's
know.
right.
Maybe like a book signing, virtual book signing.
Yes.
So make sure that you guys watch this, share it,
Yes.
inform us on what your journey is like. Is there anything that you would like to leave the people with?
Just prep to live. Prep to live your best life. And the way to prep is to prepare yourself. And the only way you can prepare yourself is by taking care of yourself. It's never, ever, ever too late. Prep to live. Breathe.